What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from ActTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're taking a look at a movie currently in theaters. This is The Luckiest Man in America. This is an IFC release. You can check it out right now at a theater near you. And it does have audio description. IFC does make audio description for their movies. And this film stars Paul Walter Hauser. It's based on a true story of Michael Larson, who in 1984 made quite a little stand for himself on the show Press Your Luck. And this has led to a movie based on his time on the show and how he was able to win so much money on Press Your Luck. I am a blind film critic and I watch movies with audio description and talk about those. So click like and subscribe if you have found me. Thank you. For my blind and low vision people out there, I'm wearing a black hat, purple hat on backwards, black sunglasses. That was the black I was wearing. And I have a Power Rangers t-shirt on. So The Luckiest Man Alive, which was previously known as Press Your Luck, they just decided to swap it so that it wasn't like definitively the name of the game show. Michael is an ice cream truck driver who heads out to try to get on the show Press Your Luck, and he has a backstory that he tells the producers. He kind of works his way into an interview that's not really his, and he kind of slides in, and they kind of reject him at first, and then they realize, oh, he really did drive here in an ice cream truck. Maybe this guy's more interesting than we gave him credit for. So the executive producer of the show, played by David Strathairn, who does a really nice job in this, by the way, it decides to give him a chance, put him on the show, and see what happens. And what ends up happening is Michael gets on a roll. But how is Michael getting on a roll, and why is Michael choosing to get on a roll becomes sort of the focus of the movie, as we see that maybe Michael is a little bit smarter than everybody gave him credit for. I love that that's what Paul Walter Hauser is always playing, are characters that people ultimately underestimate, or they think is slower than usual, but then he ends up being frequently he gets to be a lot smarter than anybody will ever give him credit for. But he's a great actor that balances both comedy and drama, and he gets offered both. It's really interesting to see like the list of his upcoming projects, because he's got everything from Naked Gun to the Bruce Springsteen biopic. He's also been tapped to play Chris Farley, so in a biopic about Chris, and he's he has so many interesting roles because he has proven himself in a wide variety of genres. He's also like Stingray on Cobra Kai, but then you watch Blackbird and you're like, that is a terrific dramatic performance. You know, that he won the Emmy, the Golden Globe, and Critics' Choice, all for supporting actor for Blackbird. And it's stunning, like just stunning. One of the best performances I think I've ever seen on television from Paul Walter Hauser was in Blackbird. So here he is 100% believable as an everyman, which is exactly what he needs to be, because you have to be able to accept Michael at face value at the beginning. You have to he has to be this sort of like lovable schlub that kind of comes in and you're like, oh man, I really want this guy to get on the game show. You know, I mean, obviously for some people who are older than me and lived through the time, they immediately know what this movie's about and they immediately know who Michael Larson is. And they're like, oh yeah, I've seen this story. I remember this story from when I was older in 1984 and remembered things. I was one, so I have no idea what this is. And you have to be able to root for him. And then when things get complicated, and Samir, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. We have an international director trying to break into American cinema here, and it's interesting. He's chosen a story. You have somebody who's like chasing the American dream about somebody chasing the American dream, of being able to earn enough money to be able to maybe solve your family problems, which is kind of what Michael's trying to do. He just doesn't quite know how to do that. And that's sort of what you learn as the movie goes on. It's suggested that maybe there's like something more nefarious going on here. I love that IMDb's like first genre for this movie is thriller. I'm like, no, I don't. I wouldn't go with that. I wouldn't lean with thriller as being. It has some suspense to it. Certainly, I mean, it's it's a tight movie because it's under 90 minutes, and the whole thing is basically him just on set the whole time, like him showing up at Pressure Luck, going in for an interview, getting the gig, getting on to the show, and then winning money, and continuing to press his luck and somehow not getting the whammy. So, and then juxtaposed against this idea of why he's doing it, which he says is basically he's always extremely complimentary. He's like, about it, he has a wife. He's like, my beautiful, oh, she's just the best thing in the whole world, and he's got a daughter. And you think he's lying, but that's kind of the push and pull. Is it bullshit? Is it real? Is it true? Is it a half truth? Um, and that's kind of what I love about the movie is how it structures itself as being a how much of this is a lie versus how much of this is truth, and versus how much is this Michael's perception of uh, his life. So it's not necessarily a lie. It's just this is how Michael perceives life. So I think it really plays with the whole thing very well. And it's got a really strong supporting cast, full of a whole bunch of people in very thankless roles. Maisie Williams, Haley Bennett, Johnny Knoxville. I mean, just people who show up. Walton Goggins. I mean, they're all here to support, but really, This is Paul's film. I thought David probably, I would say, is number two billing here. Just based on screen time and the focus on his character, and he feels like maybe the main antagonist for Paul's character, kind of controlling the booth and the direction of the show. So, um, yeah, I really like this. Um, I think certainly, uh, you definitely want to make sure you catch it with audio description if you can. Just it's not it's not terribly like uh there aren't like a whole lot of like crazy things that happen in the movie. It is pretty straightforward. It's not quite like Anna Kendrick's movie from last year, with the dating game, where you're slipping through different time periods, and uh, you know it's not like jumping years, and then one time you're in the dating game and the next time you're watching like a serial killer doing something. It doesn't do any of that. It's pretty straightforward. But Samir has managed to somehow direct what seems like to be almost like a psychological mystery. I wouldn't. I struggle using the word thriller because I think about actual thrillers, and I'm like, this is not Seven. This is not. This is not like a thriller. This isn't like The Game. This isn't. I'm not on the edge of my seat at any point in this movie, but it does have some interesting twists and momentum to it that a straight drama would not have. And it's largely because of um, concealed motivations and an altered perspective of Michael's reality that sort of drive the film and cause you to think about, like, what's going on? What is this? What's the catch? What is the catch here? What's the hook? You know, what's around? What's behind door number two? You know, to use a game show term. You think that there's always like something more, but maybe there's not. Maybe there is, but maybe there's not. And you kind of wait for that. It's waiting constantly for the other shoe to drop, but I don't think that that necessarily makes it a thriller. You know, you're just waiting for the, okay, so what is it then? And I think it's a really nice showcase of Paul's acting. I think this film is going to be just completely lost by the end of the year in terms of acting and awards and everything like that. I don't think it's going to get enough of a profile. I'll probably remember it just because I remember shit like this. Last year, studios really need to throw more screeners at me. Last year, my favorite movie of the year was Ghostlight. My best actor of the year was Bobby Cannavale from Ezra. Like, I'm more inclined to name completely off the beaten path performances and stick with them than I am to necessarily jump on board just because, like, all the other critics and being like, oh my god, we all love Anora. It's like, cool, I'm glad you liked Anora. I liked it too. Not my favorite movie of the year, but I like that you liked it. You know, I don't know, maybe Paul Walter Hauser will be in my list of best performances of the year. Maybe. I don't think his film's gonna make the best list of the year, but maybe, I don't know. So yeah, but for an April release, this is about close to the same time that Ghostlight released last year for IFC. At least the same time frame as Dandelion, I think, which was also pretty good coming out of their studio. I liked it. I think hopefully it'll do well enough, and enough people will get to see it that'll matter. And I think I just think that maybe the supporting cast is going to go sort of underappreciated just because of how the film is structured, not really in their favor. Like, if you're coming to see this film strictly because of Maisie Williams or Haley Bennett or Johnny Knoxville, they don't really do much. I mean, they're here, absolutely, but everybody's sort of here to support the Michael Larson story, which is Paul Walter Hauser. So David kind of has the most of the supporting cast, but this is really Paul's show, just like Pressure Luck was Michael Larson's. Anyway, that's it. That's what I got for this. So I'm gonna give The Luckiest Man in America, I'm gonna give it an A minus. I think this is one of the strongest films I've seen yet this year, and I would recommend you check it out. Currently in theaters. So if you're looking at the theaters and you just see Minecraft and you're like, I don't know about that. There are at least 2 other movies currently in theaters between Freaky Tales and Luckiest Man in America that I would recommend checking out right now. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I will see you guys on the other side.